Hey, it's Andre. It's time for another Friday flying update. And well, February, I wave the white flag. My goodness. So this is going to be the fourth weekend in a row where I probably will not be able to fly. So the previous weekend we had freezing rain, and then we had minus 43, and we had snow and more snow. Tuesday this week we got 51 centimeters, which is like 20 inches of snow in one day. So that's a new record for Ottawa, and it's a bit extreme even by our standards. And now this weekend we're supposed to get 10 more centimeters overnight. Then it's supposed to go above zero and start raining. So we've got all that snow on the ground still, and it rains. So tomorrow is going to be a disaster. They're talking 50, 60 kilometer-hour winds. Maybe Sunday I'll get out flying. Maybe. At this point I should probably look into my battery packs and see what I should discharge and everything and put them back into storage, because they've been sitting there waiting to go flying. So I suspect this weekend will be a lot of building. I still got those FT Aero kits, and I did print out the Sparrow kits, the plans, in case James decides that's something he'd probably like to fly. I'm almost thinking that might be better for him, because the wing can be changed out real easy and there's no control surfaces built into the wing. So either way, the FT Aeros are getting built. My glue gun is ready. I'm going to do that because I want to build and just relax and enjoy the weekend despite all the weather and everything. I do have a bunch of maintenance outside, a bunch of snow clearing to do, but that will be also done, because what's the point of winter if I can't fund a scratch build? We are going to do a podcast tomorrow. Chris was just updating me saying tomorrow around 10 o'clock we'll probably do it. I'm not sure about the live element, because last time we did a podcast we ran into a whole bunch of data issues getting the live broadcast and stream out. So no promises, no commitments. We're going to do our show. David will be there. Adam will be there. Wayne, maybe Mike. So it's pretty cool. As many of you know, David did make it down. He's working with Chad and the Rotor Riot crew, so that's pretty cool. If I'd known, I might have gone down this weekend, but I've got some commitments on Monday which require me to be back in town, so it was a little too risky. So we'll see. On the bench, you're looking at a bunch of parts. This is all for the Aero. And one of the issues I've run into is the motor I'm running with, which is the Eachine 2204 2300 kV, is a bit large actually for the tiny firewalls. So I'm having to look at if I'm going to use the big one and then cut it down a little bit. I'll take it onto the planer afterwards and knock it down. So it might be a little bigger than the stock one. I might try and pull my motor off and see if I can drill a couple holes. It should work with mine. For the one with the rubber band for James's motors, not so much. So I do have some, from my first quad, I do have some 1900 kV motors, 1704s I believe, which I might just deploy onto it rather than using that motor, just in case. So still things in the works, stuff I'm going to fiddle with. So this will probably occupy a bit of my evening tonight as I figure out the power solution and get ready to start building my first Aero kit and everything. So looking forward to that. Last weekend I finished off the bench, did a little bit of work on that. I've got some little bit of finessing to do, but I just haven't been out in the stores. The big thing that I did was I did build that new flying airplane stand, or RC airplane stand, which turned out really well actually and moves quite nicely. Check out the video that I shot on Monday this week, I believe, and it shows it, and there's some other pictures on my social media. Real basic. The most expensive part, the whole thing, were those two rails and then all the hooks. And I'm thinking about getting a few more of the hangers, so I can put on a few extra airplanes, things like the EFX Racer and a few other ones. Basically, it's a perfect rack for storing the summer aircraft that are idle during the winter, obviously due to the conditions. Speaking of winter airplanes, Scott in Australia and I were discussing some of the better airplanes to fly around and have some fun with. Obviously, the Skipper is good to go and ready for FPV, and I'm really excited about trying that once the conditions are good enough to wear the goggles and not frost up. But he was saying maybe I should look at another Bixler. And I was like, oh, do I want to buy yet another airplane? So I may look into printing off the FT Explorer plans or do some other stuff. Obviously, planes in the works to be built from the flight test line. I need to do a replacement for the FT Racer, as well. I need to use those 2 EDF motors and have some fun with that. So this weekend, especially Saturday, since the weather's no good, probably will be doing a lot of scratch building and thinking and having some fun with the equipment I do have. So if you get out to the field, have fun, be safe, see you there. Thanks.